thing with my phone, but I did get your message.
I just had to put up a bunch of- You're kind of new to this.
I did get a message the other day.
Okay, hey, why don't you just sit here? I'll move.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm not trying to be antisocial, guys.
We don't like you anyway. Get out. We're gonna get. I got your shirts. Yeah, your
Oh, my jacket is dirty.
Where'd your bill?
It's a little too warm for today.
that, fourth child. What? Outright lie.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna load anything tonight, that's fine.
All right. Yeah. This is why. I'm glad you wrote it. Oh, really? That's a current policy.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, it's, I. My case, I was short, but picked my name off the file. I'll hand you the report. I've done that. Actually, somebody who happens to be.
I think that on those interests.
In most regard.
Did they say or
Say.
Because I would love to. That Monday.
Right.
I tried to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at it.
Yeah, there's,
It's an old jacket.
The time is now 6 p.m. This is Tuesday, the 27th of February, 2024. Will you all please rise for the pledge of allegiance, please? Someone lead us, please.
Allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have Debbie Dougherty here. Tim Kelby is here. Diane Klein is here. John Perry is walking in. Tracy Kellogg is our town clerk is here. All right, and we're just waiting one other person, but we continue going through. All right, Tracy, we want to talk about,
Sure. You want me to, I'm happy to give the.
I open the meeting, I'm sorry. I open the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I call on Tracy Kellogg, our clerk, to grace us with a report.
So the minute, just so that everybody knows with everything that's going on in the office, we're still delayed. We'll try to get minutes out next week so that they can be reviewed, prep for it. So, okay. For the, I'm just gonna, since I'm here, well, for the month of February, our total receipts were $21,487. Marriage, death certificates, zoning. We issued checks to the fire through, we've issued our tax payments to the supervisors fund, and the supervisors issued checks to the fire districts and the library.
Just one thing, I just want to add something to what Tracy has said. We are shorthanded. We are down one deputy town clerk. We are now down two deputy town clerk. We had a resignation of Doreen Meyer. She's injured. She was injured in an accident and cannot come to the meeting more or less. Can't come in. All right. Well, everything's we're playing catch-up more or less. The financials for the month of January are also delayed because we have to start all over the center with our accounting. Well, what happened basically was that the accounting for 2023, we haven't had accounting since about April of 2023. We have no financials yet. We couldn't start anything. We are now starting at this time, and we're going to start all over again, and we're going to have the accounting. So by next meeting, we shall have the financials for January and for February. Okay, public comment. 2 minutes. There's a sign-up sheet over there. Have you gotten the Tracy, the sign-up sheet? All right.
I'll make a motion to open for public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Just one favor, 2 minutes, please. Wilson, aye.
I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to be here tonight and to speak. And I have two quick issues that I want to talk about. Number one is I would ask the board, and I've done this before and to no avail, but I think it's about time in this town where we start, when people don't take care of their lawns, we ought to have a crew that goes in and does it and add it to their taxes. Okay? I have a property behind me. It's been vacant for about 5 years now. It's a mess. I'm constantly cleaning that property up and trying to keep my own. And I'm to the point right now where I had to replace my fence. It just cost me $2,000 to do that because all of this debris from the property behind me is on my property. Okay? The other item I'm here on tonight is I've heard rumors, okay, about the possibility of changing Schoolhouse Lane. I think that's a major, major mistake. If you take a look up on the Russell Road area and on Overlook Drive, Circle Drive, we have 95 apartment buildings there, if you will. This would be a big mistake to change this. I think that there's a few things that very simply could be done. One of them is put a stop sign on the bottom of the Schoolhouse Lane, because those cars come down that hill and make that turn and go out to 209. I think that's a dangerous, dangerous thing. Secondly, I think what we should be looking at is maybe widening that street a little bit. I think that there's some ways that we can, if that's a problem, we should be able to widen it a little bit and make it safe for everybody. I've been up there 60 years. I built my home. It's 60 years this year that I've been there. And I've seen a number of accidents where people are trying to enter 209 or come off of 209. Very dangerous intersection. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope you just take that into consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kathy Donlin?
Hi, I'm Kathy Donlin from 7 Wildwood Drive in West Hurley. All right, Kathy Donlin, 7 Wildwood Drive in West Hurley. Some of people may know this, but we've had a water issue there for, Mike says, like 17 years. Last year, I was told the RFP and everything was going to go out. It didn't happen. I would just like if you guys could try to make it a priority this year. Basements are getting flooded, yards are flooded. And I know, Mike, you've been on it, John and other people, but I just wanted to keep bringing it up until it gets done.
Wildwood Road, right?
Wildwood Drive, yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Julian Shapiro.
The price is right.
Hi, my name is Julian Shapiro, 192 Zandhook. I just moved up here in October. So if I'm not aware of everything going on, please forgive me. My neighbor's here too, and there are about 12 school children that live north or south of Joy Lane by Sunset Terrace. And my concern is that Zandhook is dangerous. There's nothing for pedestrians or school kids. And the kids right now wait for the bus in a pit of mud, which I think we can do something that's a bit more dignified. And I would like to know what can be done, whether it's expanding the shoulder, sidewalk, speed humps, stop sign, or radar. Keep people from going so fast and make Zandhook more approachable to pedestrians and not 5-ton trucks. And whatever we can do to make some concessions, it'd be really nice to be able to go 1 mile to the school, post office, library, church, whatever, and not have to drive. Do it safely.
I'd like to address that. The study, we talked about a study being done.
Right.
It's completed. They are going to be looking to put a culvert
Mhm.
on the cemetery side and then paving it over or putting a trail over it.
Okay.
People can walk there. They have told us they are now setting out going to bids, looking at the monetary cost.
Right.
And hopefully by the time June comes around, they will start working on that.
But that goes up to West Street.
That goes from West Street all the way up to Zandhook by the stop sign, the Empire Cemetery side.
Right, but so I live by Lucas Ave.
Okay.
And so
You
from,
want Joyce Lane or towards the dam?
yeah, I'm south of Joy's Lane. And so from Joy's Lane, the shoulder is maybe 6 inches. And so if they can maybe move the divider and expand the shoulder on one side, how far can the shoulder go to the guardrail? Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to know that there's a committee on safety here.
Right.
That's taking this up, and we got something done.
Okay,
In that sense, so we will then go back to the county and ask them to do the entire road there.
excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, and actually, something for the kids, it's like a bus stop, maybe bricks, something that's not low.
Don't ask too much.
Bricks.
Peter, your turn.
Here's my 2-minute thing. I got a bunch of things, so I just want to wade through them. Ready? No, come on, you got to put it the other way. It goes the other way. You got to turn it the other way.
3 minutes, get started.
There you go. All right. This isn't even on.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay. I just want to go over a couple things that are on the agenda tonight. I have absolutely no problem with the transfer station passes to committee volunteers, but I really think you should move it to the beginning of 225. We're already 3 months in. We're talking $20 whoever bought. Some people probably bought permits. That means we're gonna have to fund their money. Some people, you're making committees that aren't even made yet. By the time you get all this stuff done, I just think it's a much smoother transition for them up there too, not having to pull ones back and not. If people get on these committees and leave, then what are we supposed to do if we give these away? As far as the accepting of the deputy clerk resignation of and the appointment of the clerk, she worked under Bert Golnick, and I think we all realize and remember who he is. And there's investigations aren't closed yet. And I think we might be looking into having some problems with our own town because that investigation's not closed yet. And her name might still come up. I'm just saying, it's up to you guys what you want to do, but
Okay, do me a favor, don't make insinuations, please.
I'm just saying.
Don't make
Okay.
insinuations.
Okay, I'm just giving you a recommendation, Jack.
No,
As far as the resolution for the reestablishing of the recreation committee, you need to change the first line in it because that was never, it has not always been going on. Under Gary Bellows, it was stopped and it was never reassigned till now. I'm glad you guys are doing it, but that's wrong.
Here, there you go. Oh,
That was a little rude.
I know.
So what are you gonna say?
I apologize. 2 minutes are up.
You see?
Okay, so any other public comments at all?
Everything's thrown at me.
May carry.
Good evening, Meg Carey, 25 Lenox Avenue in Glenford. And my husband and I strongly support the proposition to establish a zero waste initiative in the town of Hurley. Having visited the Greenway Environmental Services facility, we're convinced that they would provide excellent service and the needed education about zero waste management for Hurley and its residents. We hope you will quickly approve the contract with Greenway so Hurley can start on its path to zero waste. And I want to add that as a former teacher and as a former member of the Ontario Board of Education, I truly believe that education is a key component for the success of a project. And I would love to see the town of Hurley be on the vanguard of working towards zero waste. I was very impressed to hear when we went down to visit from Shabazz that the Garlic Festival had asked them to handle the waste there, and that Greenway had said, ask all the vendors to be using the commercially compostable plasticware and plates and cups. And then Shabazz they were able to pick it up and bring it back to their facility, and it made a tremendous difference in the volume of waste. And much of it, the commercially compostable things can all be generated back into compost. So this is something I would really love to see the town of Hurley do. I think that we would be lucky.
Thank you, Meg. Anybody else wish to make a comment? Seeing no other comments,
I'll make a motion to close public comment.
is there a second?
A second.
Discussion or anything? All in favor?
I,
So closed. Okay, we now call on the committee reports, Climate Smart.
We're gonna do our presentation.
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Shara. I'm the Climate Smart Communities Coordinator for the town of Hurley. Climate Smart is a volunteer organization. We're a subcommittee of the CAC, and our goal is to basically help the town reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and help prepare for climate change. Yeah, you want to go ahead and. The owl is looking at my notes. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about the NYSERDA grant challenge that we've undertaken, and the point is that we are promoting 3 community campaigns, and they are to help us to transition away from fossil fuels. They provide incentives.
Kristen, if it's easier so you can see it, you can either lift the mic out or turn the whole thing.
Why don't you put in a presentation though?
You have to put it in the PowerPoint.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're.
Go back to the email. Click on the email itself. And then click on that and download it.
There, you can open it with the Google
Google
Slides.
Slides, right?
Yeah, that's what I had.
No.
So that's the. Takes a minute.
The closed captioning doesn't come on when you have the.
I don't think so, Mike. That's.
Slideshow up at the top.
Slideshow, yeah.
That's Google Slides.
Can you see it?
Over to the
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I watch soccer.
It's not bad for Google.
Okay, yeah, just back up to the beginning, maybe.
Here, there we are. Page 2 is good.
Yeah, we need to go to page 2, slide 2. Okay, so here's our 3 options or 3 campaigns that we're running. Community solar signups, heat pump installations, and electric vehicle purchases or leases. And so the idea is if 50 residents or businesses in Hurley sign up for community solar, for example, and we document that, we can submit an application for a $10,000 grant from NYSERDA, and that grant would come to the town of Hurley. And similar for heat pump installations or electric vehicle purchases or leases. So what we need from you is if you do any of these or all of them, if you could email us at climatesmart@townofhurley.org and let us know. There is a flyer that has the details on this, and there are also details on this program that are going to be in the town newsletter in March.
It's also on the website already.
And it's on that website. And we also have a website, climatesmarthurley.org, which I encourage you to visit, and the details are there as well. Okay. So what I'd like to do today is I've invited, well, let's go to the next slide, sorry. So just to let you know, there's $25 million available statewide for this program. Sounds like a lot of money, but we are actually competing against all the other towns and cities in New York State for this grant money. And when it's gone, it's gone. So the sooner that we can accumulate these signups and purchases and report them and apply for the grant, probably the better. So now what I'd like to do is I've invited Tom Conrad, who is the chair of the Marbletown Environmental Conservation Commission and an energy coach for New Yorkers for Clean Power. And he's going to talk a little bit more about how to transition away from fossil fuels and specifically about heat pumps. So I know there are a lot of questions about that. So thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Christy. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so I just want to talk about why you might want to transition to heat pumps other than getting the town a couple grants, which is good enough reason. So especially if you were heating with fuel oil or propane, it costs considerably less to heat with a heat pump or do your hot water with a heat pump. This campaign, if you did geothermal, air source heat pumps, or a heat pump water heater, any of those counts towards the campaign. Next, but if you don't plan on doing it and your boiler breaks, usually the first thing is, especially if it's the middle of the winter, you're going to end up getting a new boiler because that's what the paradigm has. So it's important to make a plan first so that you know if you're getting to that place, this is the way to do it most cost effectively. If you just rip out a new boiler, that's a lot of money down. But if you make a plan ahead, you know what's about to break and you place it now, it'll not only save you money up front, but it'll save you even more ongoing. So, yeah, we follow. Next slide. Yeah. Last, yeah. You skipped one, I think. There we are. There wasn't one in there? Okay. Well, I'll just go with word. Next. This will work. Okay, so when you're making a plan for the whole fossil fuel thing, not just heat pumps, but in general, I'm focusing on heat pumps. The best thing to do is just inventory what you have that uses fossil fuels and figure out what the replacements. We'll focus on the things, the heat pumps, because heat pumps are the two biggest users of energy in any household in New York, are typically heating, and then the next one is transportation. The third is hot water, which is also qualifies for the heat pump. Next slide, thanks. But so we start with those things and then just have the solution for each of the things that uses it, with emphasis on the solution, the things that are about to break, if you want to keep it most cost effective. So here's just an example of putting that together. Okay, I use this much fuel oil. This is when is my boiler going to break? Where's my heat coming from? Do I have an auxiliary boiler? Am I going to have to replace the hot water heater at the same time? When I do a new home solution, I look at my car, I look at my gas stove, and it gives you an estimate of the priorities. You want to prioritize what's breaking first and what uses a lot of energy so you can save some money on that. Next slide, please. Go ahead. So AC and heat pumps. So the one thing about heat pumps, if you've heard bad things about heat pumps, the bad thing that you've probably heard is that it doesn't work when it gets really cold. That is partly true. If you have a poorly insulated building in our climate, an air source heat pump has a lot of trouble keeping up. If you have a well-insulated building, you can still be comfortable. So heat pumps are not as good at generating a ton of heat really fast. And on really cold days, you're losing more heat, especially if you have a drafty building. So you need to address insulation first, unless that's already been done in your home. You want to go get a free home energy assessment from NYSERDA and deal with it. I have a picture of icicles here because that's another way to tell your home is leaking a ton of heat through the roof. If you have a bunch of icicles or ice dams, that's a sign of heat loss, because that heat loss is going up, melted snow,